So for so many thousands of years, religion has been such a large part of people's lives, and I mean, it's still very relevant today. How has that maintained itself for so long if, it's a bunch of hooey?
Oh, because the fact that it's a bunch of hooey does not interfere with people believing it at all. I mean, things like the Christian myths, they're utterly absurd. They're very bizarre. And that doesn't interfere with people believing them. People believe in these things because they want to believe in them. They like the idea of, a father in the sky who's looking down on them and taking care of them and loves them. They like the idea that after they die, they'll go to paradise and things like that. And that's got a strong draw. It's just that it's not true. Plagiarized forward that gets everything wrong. It's just a real shame.
Have you read it yet?
I have read this, of course, many times.
Did you read the intro yet?
Yes, and it made me gag.
Oh,
it's so bad.
That's terrible, yeah.
Yeah. Why do you even want to associate with a moron like Ray Comfort? I don't understand.
It's consistent. If you walk by a stove and put your hand on it 1 week and it burns your hand, you're not going to walk by and put your hand on the stove the second week because you expect the universe to be consistent. Otherwise, why did I bother not putting your hand on it? So, I just apply that to things like Christianity. People don't rise from the dead. People don't walk on water. These are things we should reject out of hand.
That is absolutely right, that people don't rise from the dead, but Jesus isn't a person. He was God in human form.
So what is your evidence for that?
Have you ever read the Bible?
Yes, I was brought up a Lutheran.
Okay.
And realized very quickly it was crap.
Why is that?
There's nothing believable in the Bible.
Why is that?
Why? Have you read it?
I have. I've read the whole thing.
Yeah? What part is believable?
All of it.
Goldilocks and the Three Bears says, well, it just says they're bears that eat porridge. Okay, I realize the book says that. Why should I believe it?
The Goldilocks story?
No, well, obviously.
Or Jesus?
Why should I believe that Jesus was God like the book says? You're just reiterating what the book says, but I need to know why I should believe it.
I was an atheist. I was a skeptic. I was a philosophy major in college.
And I'm sure you have a good anecdote, but I need to know evidence.
I'm not. I'm not going to give you. No. Just let me finish saying what I was going to say. Okay. I believe that there is a difference between blind faith and God doesn't ask for blind faith. He asks for reasoned faith.
Okay, so you have reason and evidence.
I have reason and evidence that I have found in the Bible.
So you actually believe that God had sex with a virgin?
No.
And gave birth to himself?
No.
You don't think Jesus was God?
No, Jesus was God, but he didn't have sex with Mary.
Oh, he did it magically in some way.
Well, through the Holy Spirit. See, that's the power of God. He can speak through the Word and have it done.
Okay, so he can speak at virgins and get them pregnant.
Well, he did with Mary.
And gave birth to himself.
Mary gave birth. Yeah, he used a vessel on earth to do that.
And sacrificed himself to save us from him.
Well, no one saw him actually rise from the dead, but that doesn't mean that it didn't happen. There's evidence that he did rise from the dead.
Evidence is not evidence of absence, you're essentially saying.
So why are we doing this? Why are we doing Skepticon?
Because it feels good. I enjoy it. I like it. It makes me happy. It spreads knowledge to the world.
Okay.
This is my goal. Rather than spreading ignorance, I'd rather spread knowledge.
Well, I guess one person's opinion of knowledge is,
No, knowledge is not a matter of opinion.
It's not?
No.
So what was like, for instance, Hitler, what was he spreading? What he thought was knowledge, what he thought was good?
No, he was a totalitarian dictator. He tried to conquer Europe. That was what he was doing.
Right.
And he was a good Catholic, right? You didn't know that?
No, I'm not for Catholicism. I'm for Christianity.
Oh, I love these guys. Yeah. Catholicism is Christianity. It's one of many versions of Christianity. So, yeah.
Well, it can be, yeah. There's a lot of false converts in every religion.
So there is something to indicate that someone rose from the dead.
Yes.
Hit me. This is what I'm trying to get at.
They found the cloths that he had been wrapped in?
The Shroud of Turin?
Yes. Well-
They've taken chemical samples of the blood on the Shroud of Turin.
Okay.
And which version of Protestant Christianity are you from?
I follow the Baptist, John Calvin, Martin Luther movement.
Those are different things.
Not really.
Well, I was brought up Lutheran, and no,
Uh-huh.
we have very little in common with Baptists, except general beliefs in Jesus and things like that.
What are the major differences?
I'm the atheist, and you're asking me?
Yeah.
It's exactly
Someone
the same
else
paint.
may have claimed that was the shroud that Jesus was wrapped in. I'm not saying that the Shroud of Turin is the exact same shroud.
So not the Shroud of Turin, but they have found the shrouds he was wrapped in, and they have determined this how.
So what you're seeing and what you see, just I know you don't like great comfort, but a building doesn't come about just magically. It has a builder.
A building has a builder, yes.
Right. And the same way the human body with its complexities. And are you a scientist or what are you?
I'm a biologist.
A biologist, okay. So you would understand that how complex just a cell in general is, right?
Okay,
How can that's like a factory going to work and forming the human body over time. You're saying
I'm
luck
very,
after luck after luck after luck.
Very familiar with this
Right.
bogus argument.
Right.
Complexity is not an indicator of design.
Why is that?
No, you're the one making this blind assertion that because the cell is complex, everything is. But that's not the case.
Why is that?
The natural processes are very good at building a complex structure.
Your main issue with Christianity is that there is
We're
not
still on if
evidence.
Jesus rose from the dead. Can
Well,
we
but
at least agree that
ultimately-
those two are not complementary at all? Or do you think that could really be two people's different accounts of the same thing?
I absolutely believe that it could be two different
I defer to the onlookers to see if that's a rational position.
So you're saying the world is trillions of years old, and through multiple chances,
4.5 billion.
4.5 billion. Okay. And where do we come up with that? Where do we get 4.5 billion years old?
The primary technique is radiometric dating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that same technique that you're talking about was used on it was used on lava spewing out of a volcano. They radio tested it. It's 4 hours old. Radio tested it, and it measures somewhere in the millions of years old. So that
Where are you getting this stuff from?
I've gotten this information from books.
The wrong books. No, this is wrong.
Well, I just want to hear what your biggest objection to Christianity is.
Oh, I told you, it makes outlandish claims it doesn't support.
Okay,
you're
and
telling
you're
me-
saying that Christ rising from the dead is one of those examples.
Sure, obviously it's an outlandish claim. People don't rise from the dead. That's why it's called a miracle, because it's an outlandish claim. It is an abrogation of natural law.
Well, Jesus wasn't just a human being.
Right, and you said that before. That's what the book says. I agree that's what the book says. What I'm looking for is a reason to believe it.
And I'm saying that faith is
Faith is a good reason?
faith. No,
Okay.
faith is.
That's what I was going to say.
The earth is old.
I believe a creator created it. He can create anything to be as old as he wants it to be.
Oh, you believe in the trickster God then, the one who lies to us.
Well, if that's your perception of him, that's not my perception. That's not the God of the Bible.
No, that's what you're saying though, is that God is willing to lie to us about the age of the earth.
No, he's allowing us to see how, the wonder and the beauty of the earth, and to allow a star. You can't just create time from a star, from the light of a star, to reach us like that. We have to be able to test it and say it's this far away. It would take this many light years to get there. Well, he knows that. He created it. That's the mysteries of God. That's the wonderment of God. I understand that you're not going to believe me, and I'm not going to believe what you're going to say.
That's right. But there's a good reason for that, and that's that you're an ignorant fool, and I'm an educated scientist. So
Well, I think you and I have had an intellectual conversation.
No. Don't delude
that's fine.
yourself.
That's
No,
fine.
you haven't. You've been in denial.
Well, I'll just tell you this: I've at least been courtesy to you,
Yeah.
and you didn't just show that to me when you called me an ignorant fool. So I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry you called
this
me
is
that.
the greatest courtesy I can show you is honesty.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Okay.